Hi guys, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to my January weekly wrap-up number 3 and my RibSat update. This week I read 4 full-size novels and 3 graphic novels, so let's get started. First, I started off this week by finishing up The Titan's Curse. I had started this before the biannual bibliothon in the beginning of the month. I had only read the first 2 chapters, I think, so I read the majority of this book this week, and it was not as enjoyable as the rest of the Percy Jackson series. I did a full review of this on my blog, and I will link it down below if you're interested in seeing this. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. After Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse, I read Saga Volume 1, 2, and 3. I gave Saga Volume 1 4 out of 5 stars, and I gave Volumes 2 and 3 5 out of 5 stars. These graphic novels were the best graphic novels I have ever read in my entire life. They were so fantastic. It didn't sound like, when I read the synopsis, it did not sound like something that I would be interested in at all, but every single booktuber that I watch who has read these has given it raving reviews, and I mean, they're graphic novels, they're quick reads. If I read one and I don't like it, I've only wasted an hour, maybe 2, depending on how big the graphic novel is, of my time, and that's exactly what happened. I read the first one and it only took me like 45 minutes or something like that, and I absolutely fell in love. Luckily, I was spending the afternoon at the library that day, and I was able to just pick it up off the shelf and read it immediately right there. I didn't have to go down to the library again to get the next edition. I just picked each one off, and I read all 3 of them in an afternoon, and they were fantastic. I loved them so much. Now I am waiting on Volume 4 to come in from the library, and I'm so excited. I don't know where Saga has been all my life. It is just amazing. If you guys want to get into graphic novels, I definitely recommend trying Saga. It does, however, have a little bit of adult content, so make sure that you are, of the age to read that. These usually have age markers on here. Yeah, it's rated M for mature, so, take that into account if you are, not 18 years old. After Saga, I read Gloria O'Brien's History of the Future by A.S. King. This is a book that I picked out to read for the hashtag #Yearathon. This month's theme was standalones, and this is one of the standalones that I had from the library just sitting around, so I figured that I would pick it up and read it. I really, really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. This book is about a girl who can see people's pasts and people's futures, and I was expecting her to be able to see these things from birth or something like that, but that wasn't the case. She did something and that affected her being able to see people's past and futures, and that was a little weird and it didn't sit right with me. If you go and read the book, I'm not going to tell you what happens because that would be a spoiler, but if you read the book, you definitely know what I'm talking about, because it was kind of weird and gross. And anyway, but once she started seeing people's pasts and futures, it was so interesting. Someone who is infatuated about the history of humanity would love this book. If you have any love of history whatsoever, you would definitely enjoy the things that are talked about in this book. And then if you like hearing about what could possibly happen in the near future, this would definitely be a book that I would recommend you pick up as well. It was just so intriguing and interesting to read what A.S. King thinks would happen in the next 100, 200 years by what she puts in this book. It is just so good. The beginning of the book I was not liking. I was actually thinking about DNFing it, but after about 100 pages, it starts to get really, really good, and it really made up for it. The last third of the book really made up for the first part of the book, which I just didn't like at all, but I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend this to anybody as long as you can get over some of the weird, boring parts in the beginning. Then I went on to Fire and Flood by Victoria Scott, and luckily enough I was able to continue straight on to Salt and Stone, which is the second book in the series. This is the art copy from the publisher. This does not come out until February 24th. Yeah, this does not come out until February 24th, so I was extremely lucky to get an art copy from Scholastic. Thank you so much. And I was so happy that I was able to read both of these back to back, because these were just So good. Fire and Flood is about a girl, her name is Tella, and her brother is extremely sick with a disease. They don't really go into what the disease is or what it's called or anything like that. And basically what happens is she is picked to compete in this race, and whoever wins will win the cure for their loved one, and everyone in the race is fighting for someone in their family who is sick. I am going to be doing a full review on Fire and Flood and Salt and Stone in a video coming up this week, so please stay tuned for that. Whenever that goes up, if you are watching this at a later time, I will post those links in the doobly-doo so you can check those out as well. But these were fabulous books. I think I gave Fire and Flood 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I gave Salt and Stone a 4 out of 5 stars. Really good books. I would highly recommend this to anyone who is fans of the Hunger Games, who is fans of Pokemon, because in the race they are given these animals called Pandoras that have special qualities, like there's a lion that can breathe fire, and so on and so forth, and these are just so interesting. I loved these books so much. I read Assault and Stone by Victoria Scott for the first book in the Read Your Bookshelf-a-thon, and I'm really glad that I started there. I'm able to get caught up on all of the arcs that I have. The next book that I am reading right now, actually, for Ribsat is The Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury, and it is fabulous. This is where I'm at right now, about halfway through, and I am really enjoying it so far. This book is written so eloquently, and it's just a fantastic fantasy. I am really loving this book so far. So I'm doing pretty good on Ribsat so far. I'm pretty proud of myself. I would have liked to read one book a day, and it's taken me about a day and a half to read this so far, so hopefully I'll get done with it by tonight, and I'll be able to continue on to Seeker. I forgot to mention, sometime in the next couple of weeks, I am going to be doing a giveaway for Salt and Stone by Victoria Scott and The Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury. Of course, these are both ARC copies, and I have read them, so they have been used. So if you do not mind getting a free book that is an ARC copy and is used, definitely go and check my blog out and subscribe on Blog Lovin' so you get all the updates and you don't miss anything, and you can enter to win Salt and Stone and or The Sin Eater's Daughter. If you guys have been doing Ribsat, please link your videos down below, your updates, your TBRs, your Twitters, so I can keep track of you guys. I love to see how you guys are doing with readathons. Thank you guys so much for coming to my Ribsat update and my weekly wrap-up. If you enjoyed it, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!